Yes. All right. I am officially leading the team call, but I'm actually tag teaming with Mel because she is going to share a video from Christina Williams that she saw live when she was in Mexico with all the jewels. I listened to it yesterday and I loved it. It kind of spoke to me because I know what I'm supposed to do too, but I've kind of been busy with life and simply making excuses. So I need to make my business a priority like I used to. Because I do need this money. So it was kind of a good kick in the pants for me to listen to it, that just like reminder of what we need to do. And then she's going to share some scripts as she's talking, Christina, and Mel has those and then has so we'll send verbiage later, so don't feel like you need to copy down what she's saying as far as script wise.
And I have some other scripts. So I know that in our September shift chat, I asked, what are y'all struggling with? And so I also have some scripts that I'm going to share with y'all tonight to help with those fence sitters, maybe reaching back out to people who have stopped ordering, because we all know, these contests now are focusing on retention. And so I'll have several scripts that I'm going to share after the call. But what we want to do first is listen. And trust me, she stepped on my toes at Leaders Retreat. But it was what we all needed to hear. Everyone in that room needed to hear it. So I wanted to share that with y'all tonight. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll watch it. It's just shy of like 18 minutes, but just set down your phones, set down your pen and paper, and just listen to her. If you want to jot down something that stands out to you, that's fine, but try to just listen to what she's saying, okay? All right. Okay. Here we go.
Out with top level leaders, rub shoulders with you guys, but I actually have to let you in on a secret. And I think sometimes you see people up here and you think we must have all of our ish together. And I just want to let you know that's not actually true. If you showed up in Mayakoba with a little bit of struggle this year, just know you see the end result of massive amounts of struggle for myself. Massive amounts. And I'm not reading the script, I'm so sorry. I don't have my stuff together, okay? That's what I want you to know, because sometimes you get up here and you think, she's so much further than I'll ever be. She's massive amounts of energy and I'll never have that. Or she's massive amounts of success and I'll never have that. You think we must have arrived and have some sort of secret sauce. And so you turn your brain off and you say, I can't actually relate with anything she's gonna share. And that's not true. There was just a point in my business where I was extremely unhappy with the results I was getting. Anybody ever been unhappy with the results you're getting? Yeah. And so I just decided something had to change. Momentum had slowed. I felt like some of my team felt tired. And I just decided, you know what? I'm not gonna be a sluggish team. I'm not gonna have a sluggish team. So I had to make a decision to stop looking to the left and to the right or to that leader or that leader, and I decided that I had to get real with myself. What had I done that could have caused this? And it didn't take me long to realize that I had made the same mistake again, of slipping right into management mode. I realized that it was way more fun working with my existing team, hyping up my existing team, incentivizing my existing team, digging in or even dragging my existing team, than it was to continue to get uncomfortable with myself, with my own prospects, my own reach outs, my own personal business. It was way more fun to create trainings and lead trainings and be at events with my existing team than it was for me to have to connect one-on-one and invite that new potential to lunch or invite that new girl to take a look at my opportunity. I had stopped paying myself first because I loved being a leader and feeling like I was being a leader. But guys, there's a reason that the airlines always tell you to put on your own oxygen mask first before you assist somebody else. I have been neglecting the key drivers in my business that I knew was gonna move my business forward. And what my business needed was a shock of energy. You guys know those like heart paddles that doctors use? I'm sure they're called something professional. But they like yell clear and then nobody touches anything. What happens if you touch? I just need to know. Like if you don't move your hand, do you get shocked?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
All right, so that's why they all do that. I'm always curious. I always want to do like what they say not to do. Like don't stand here. It's like. But that is really what I wanted to happen in my business. I just wanted, like I was willing to be the energy if I could just figure out how to shock my team back into focus and clarity. And I decided that I had to create it. I had to create it for myself so that then I could give it to them. I think this last leaders retreat probably brought a lot of clarity to a lot of people and a lot of awareness to maybe some areas we had been neglecting in our own business as leaders. I know that there was some fear around the contest and that for the first time some of us didn't hit the marks we had always been hitting, right? But let me offer a little different perspective here. It's okay, and it's exactly what can propel us forward, knowing what we know now. Knowledge allows you to make change. So is it unfortunate and sometimes uncomfortable to have that exposure in your business? Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but it's gonna be exactly what will allow you to change and move into this next contest even stronger. So, newsflash for myself, maybe for you guys. We have to focus on creating new upper level growth. You have to do that. We have to be willing to do what these new business builders are asked to do. We have to create new upper level growth. If you started making changes during the cruise contest, I think a lot of people realized some gaps and they started making some changes, but then the contest ended. And the tendency is to think, those changes must not have worked. I didn't earn the trip, or I didn't earn the shopping spree, I didn't earn whatever. But guys, listen, it takes about 90 days to start seeing turnarounds of some of those changes, and sometimes even longer. So now we can take advantage of the opportunity that we have a head start in this contest. Knowing what we know now with the changes that we made, we have a head start. So here is how I did it. They asked me to share how growing my personal business helped me to win the Leaders Retreat contest on both accounts. So that's what we're gonna talk about. We know that building your personal business is supposed to be the #1 priority, yet it very rarely is our #1 priority. And I know why. You sit down to work and you open Messenger. You're gonna work your own personal business, but there's 942 problems waiting in your Messenger. It feels like a lot of fires you gotta go put out. And so in conversation with Brittany yesterday, she's like, what do you do with those 942 problems? I say, I leave them until I have paid myself first. You're just gonna have to leave them. It's not that I don't have 942 team messages and problems I could solve and people that I desperately wanna help move forward. I do have them. And because I have them, I'm willing to let that sit so that I can pay myself first and figure out what's working, what's not working, what needs to change, so that when I show up over here to solve their problems, I can solve it from a place of experience. So it's not that I don't have the team demands, it's just that I'm willing to let them sit. They're not the first priority. And let me say something else about that. Guys, when you put boundaries over your effort, energy, and time, you free your team to put boundaries over theirs. Some of the hardest lessons I have learned as a leader around boundaries have been on the receiving end of boundaries. Like there will be a necessary boundary and it will feel painful. But what it always does is allows me the freedom to then go put boundaries on something else. It frees me up to lead. And you have to be willing to do that for your team. If you're not prioritizing your personal business, you're going to duplicate that down. Okay, I was allowing distractions from building my personal business because I was avoiding feelings that I did not want to feel. You know, if you avoid action, it's usually because you want to avoid the feeling that comes with it. Learn that from someone smart. Discomfort, fear, rejection. Nobody actually enjoys feeling those things. I think people think I do. They're like, you just don't even care how you feel. No, I have those feelings. I just hate the feeling of being controlled by them worse than I do the actual feeling.
Right.
So partnering with my existing team allowed me to feel the feelings we all want to feel, productive and useful and like a leader. So I had to decide that the feeling of the dissatisfaction of staying where I was going to be worse than any discomfort moving forward. I knew that I had to lead from the front. So I became willing to grow and change. So the number one question was, why was building your personal business a good strategy? Well, because it has allowed me to spot leaky gaps. Like I call it leaky roofs. And the thing with leaky roofs is if you never look up at the roof, you don't see it just starts with a little water spot, right? And then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually the whole freaking thing caves in. But when I focused on my personal business, I was like, oh, interesting, that's a gap. People don't know how to follow up about the business. Interesting, how do I fix that? So it allowed me to spot these things. It allowed me to realize that we had missing systems and missing processes. And I learned that if something feels cloudy or confusing to me, it most certainly feels cloudy and confusing to my team. So I had to take the time to figure that out. All right. I think moving into this contest, it's time for us to take our business by the reins and stop waiting for your downlines to go do what maybe we aren't even willing to do ourselves. You guys, perhaps it's time that we decide to get brilliant at the basics. That's not just a corporate charge, it's our charge. We have to be willing to get brilliant at the basics. There's nobody more poised to pull your tired team out of the quicksand than someone who has just figured out how to get out of the quicksand themselves. So get yourself up out of that quicksand. And it starts with you having the belief that you can change. All right, so here's the thing. There's two words that when you think them in your brain stops, like it stops taking any ownership or responsibility. And it's the words, if only. If only my upline would. If only my downline would. Heaven forbid, if only corporate would. And it just pushes every ounce of ownership and blame onto someone else. But instead, we've got to develop a solution-oriented focus. What could I? What could I do in this situation? What could be the next possible thing that could work if I have to focus on level ones and level twos? What could be the solution? Guys, listen, people do still want to do this with you. They do still want to do hard things. And here's how I know, I proved it to myself. I made it my mission for the last Leaders Retreat contest that I was going to be in the top 25% of predicted jewel earners to earn the trip, and that I would earn it on both accounts. Because I knew if I forced myself to do it, I would learn so many things that would help my team. I knew it would require me to get brilliant at the targets being rewarded, first three pillars, recruiting, retaining, and creating new level one workers. So I went back to people who had been telling me no for over a year about the business. And instead of dangling the business opportunity in front of them, I just simply said, hey, listen, I know you don't want to build a massive business, and that's totally fine. But I think you should come earn this cruise with me. It's designed for brand new people just like you. What are your thoughts on earning this trip for you and your husband? It's a 4-month contest, and I will be the best dang cruise coach you can imagine. And guess what? The girl who had said no for over a year to the business opportunity said, I do want to earn a cruise. She earned it in less than 3 months as a new Fast Start Gold, and now wants to be a diamond. You guys, I have the same comp plan you have. I have the same products you have. I have the same company you have. I have the same mindset crap you have. I just am willing to do it anyways. I knew that I would have to step up my recruiting game, so I decided to get curious about how I could do that. Remember, instead of thinking, if only I was a better recruiter, or if only I was an influencer, I don't even know how to spell Instagram, you guys. Instead, I thought, what could I do to get better at recruiting? Do I need to master a new marketing skill? Do I need to spend more time doing reach outs? Do I need to get back to doing in-person events and sip and sees? I was looking for solutions, found several options, and decided to do it all. Every single one. Every single option, I just decided to do it. I increased the number of people that I was sharing with every day. I increased the number of people that I invited to come see an opportunity. I got uncomfortable again and got on the phone to troubleshoot products, because keeping them is just as important as getting them. It's just a little less sexy. It's okay. I was willing to do that. I sent handwritten cards, and I have the worst handwriting, to new customers to thank them for ordering with me. I took strangers to lunch. It's the most awkward, but it works. Works. So over the course of the contest, I earned over 6,000 credits between my two accounts. I saw a 300-point growth on my main account and a 240-point growth on my reentry account. And I think that's so important because it's never been about the trips. The trips are just little like carrots along the way. It's always been about long-term, overall sustained growth. But it doesn't mean we can't have a little fun with the trips in the meantime. How did I do that? Well, one big way was that I enrolled 38 people in the contest. That's about 9 enrollments per month on average. And listen, I know folks who are like enrolling 30 a month. So 9, we can figure that out. How could I increase my enrollments? That's what your brain should be thinking. How could I? Not if only. When I looked at the credits, 30% of my credits came from enrollments. I helped 6 brand new level 1s get started and rank up. And I know you guys are thinking, yeah, but what about your existing team? Did that mean you just left them on their own? Absolutely not. I had over 40 people earn the contest with me, so I didn't leave them. I just showed them the way. Remember how I talked about being hyper-focused on how to get people to catch the vision, get off to a strong start, and get results by providing feedback? That's what allowed me to spot opportunities of growth for my entire team. They all got better because of what I decided to do. 55% of credits came from retention. When you're leading by an example, guys, you're an inspiration to your team. People worry like, oh my gosh, what if they're not willing to do what I'm willing to do? They are. They are if they believe it's going to be worth it. When I'm right there with my team, experiencing the same things they are, experiencing the same objections, the same rejection, the same whatever, I can give better feedback, better support, and then I can continue to help them grow. I already told you guys. 21 people on my team earned the cruise with a guest, and another 20-something earned it with a buddy pass. My team retention, I hate this stat, 65% was my retention rate during the contest. Listen, we're working on it. Remember I told you spot those leaky gaps? We're gonna get that 65% up. We have systems coming. Okay, here's what we did not do, you guys. We did not do a crazy amount of incentives. We did not do discounts or reimbursements on products. We didn't buy people stuff for them. What we did do, though, was cast vision for why this is a long-term strategy for their business and for their lives. The trip is just an added bonus. When they're making diamond, pay. When they're making EVA money, they can afford to buy all the trips. They can buy all the cruises. They can take their whole family if they want. So I kept the focus there long-term. People are willing to do hard work. You know how I know? People enroll in Harvard every day. They become rocket scientists. They climb Mount Everest. That's hard, and people are willing to do it because they believe it will be worth it. Think about what would happen in this contest if you decided today to help someone go fast start gold in September. Remember, we're not thinking if only, we're thinking, how could I? That's what I did. And you can start right now. Seriously, start making connections while you're here. Here's something you can say. And I will say this. I will say this to 50 people on this trip. Hey, Sally, I'm here in beautiful Mayako, but you're on my mind. I know we have, or haven't, chatted about this business opportunity before, and you weren't super interested in that. But I have something I wanted to run past you. We just launched an incentive trip to an all-inclusive resort in Punta Cana, and it's designed to be earned by someone brand new like you. While I know you might not want to build a super biz with me, thought you might be open to earning a trip with you and your honey. I've got a very simple system to follow, and I'd be beside you every step of the way. Not only would you earn the cruise, but you'd pocket close to $1,700. What do you think? Get on their level, y'all, and meet them where they are. Just don't let them stay there. Cast big vision, but first, possess big vision. There's plenty of time for you to make an example of yourself in this contest. Go find 1 or 2 new people and help them earn a trip of a lifetime. Be their all-inclusive coach for the next 4 months and watch the magic happen on your team. Y'all, it's just a skill set that can be mastered. Share the opportunity with every single person who orders products from you. Expect them to have objections surrounding it and be excited to help them overcome it. Cast a vision for what's possible and then get them off to a strong start. You guys, I think Brittany and I have trained on this topic a million times at this point. If you were at convention, it's literally in the app. Create business builders. Get good at it and then repeat it over and over and over. Determined to create one new level 1 silver every month of the contest, and determined to help at least one of them go gold. That's exactly what I did to earn those credits. Link arms with every person who's working and cast vision for them to do the same thing, and then let them work. Imagine the energy on your team, you guys, if you made that your mission. So proud to be among you guys here. I'm honored and excited for where we're headed, and I have high belief that we're going to.
All right. So what stood out to y'all on that? I mean, she stepped on my toes a lot. So it's okay if she stepped on your toes too. But it basically comes down to, are you making this a priority? Like, you know, like Tiffany was saying, like, she said, I need this money. I need to be making this more of a priority. But what stood out to y'all about what she said?
Well,
What
for
spoke
me,
to me a
that-
lot was, oh, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead. Nope, go for it.
Mhm.
I was just going to talk about how she repeated over and over that she stepped out of that comfort box and she was willing to get uncomfortable, and she took strangers to lunch and just, you know, just really went out of her box, and it paid off.
What were you gonna say, Noelle?
I was just going to say, because I'm a professional organizer, so that's what I do is I solve problems. But in this particular case, I got to quit solving the problem and keep moving forward and wrap around and solve the problem. Because she says, leave the problems, pay yourself first. Where I don't do, I never pay myself first. I always fix everybody else's issues. So I have to, you know, start putting myself first, you know, and doing what could I do in this situation and what could be the solution, and, you know, answer those questions instead of if only and fixing the problem.
It's so true. I have a tendency to do that too. Like, you know, and like she said, when I'm helping y'all or making a graphic or setting up a group or making a challenge, like I feel productive, like I'm helping my existing people, but that stuff needs to be after I've done the work to move my personal business forward. So yeah, totally. What else? Anybody, y'all quiet?
This makes me think of time blocking, like making your priority, like just, you know, getting your IPA and then like setting a schedule so that I know I am busy, everyone's busy. But yes, figuring out where that fits and going back to some of that time blocking that I know how to do, but I have gotten away from using these
Yeah.
strategies.
Yeah, for sure. And then you've got to know what you're going to work on during your time block, you know? Do you
Mhm,
have
it
your list of
organized.
people that you're going to reach out to, you know? And I have all of that wording that she used. But you know, I look on here, Jamie, Samantha, Stacy, when she talks in that wording about this contest is designed for new people to earn a cruise. You three ladies are prime examples of that. Y'all earned the cruise because you're new. And so if you are helping your new people earn Punta Cana, not only, you know, I love that this contest is designed like it is, because it, like you said, it points out those leaky spots in the roof. Like, you know, in the past, I could earn a trip, I could sweep a trip because of more levels down of my team working. This is designed on me and my level ones and what we're doing. Like, and so it exposed a lot of leaks in my personal business. And so I think that's where we need to put our attention and focus is, you know, and like she said, it's not about the trip. Like it's about the sustained growth that comes 90 days, 120 days later. So, yeah. What else y'all got? We avoid those actions because of the feelings that come with it. Nobody wants to be rejected or, but I think when we come from a place of love and we're building relationships with people, they're not rejecting you personally. It could just be timing. It could be the current financial situation. Like, we got to learn to take that out of the equation.
I also liked when she said cast a vision, because again, that could be different for different people who you're with. So you really have to understand, where do they want to be, so you can cast the correct vision for them, I think.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Because everybody has different reason for doing Plexus. My reasons are different from yours, and different from Samantha, and it's just, we all have different reasons we're doing this. She said it basically has to come down to, you have to be more dissatisfied with staying where you are than the feeling of, this is scary to do. You've got to get to that point where, okay, I don't want to keep staying here. I want to move forward. I want to be a jewel in this company. I want to earn Punta Cana. I went through in our Diamond Sprint group that Beth and I are in. I had to scroll back to find it, but at one point Genevieve was talking to us about intention, and it all boils down to your intention, and like, that is the same as your priority. Like, are you making this priority? And she said, tell me the difference in these two sentences. I will help you look for your lost puppy when I can. Or, I will find your lost puppy. Like, that's totally different intention. Like, okay, when I have some time, I'll come out and help you look for your lost puppy. Or, no, girl, we're gonna find this puppy. It's all about your intentions and your priorities. And so if you're at the point where you're like, I'm earning Punta Cana, like, then what are the actions you need to be doing on a daily basis to earn it? Or, I want to hit senior gold. I'm going to be a ruby. I'm going to be an emerald. I'm going to develop a gold this month. Okay, well then you got to put the action behind the intention. So I loved this video. I've listened to it like 4 times already. What else stood out to y'all on that? Stop waiting for your downline to do what you aren't willing to do yourself. Like, get off my toes now. And she says, if you're prioritizing your personal business, it duplicates down. Like, if y'all see me, okay, I'm putting my business first and then I'm helping y'all, then you're going to be like, well, I need to do that. I need to be putting my things first. Your team will help, or the things can wait. There are those things where it's like, okay, I got to answer that right now. Like, they need my help now. But most of the things can wait a half an hour, So I hope that y'all took away from this video, because it really did for me. Okay. And so I have those messages, and I tweaked them a little bit because, one of them says, hey, I'm here in Mayakoba. So I tweaked that to be like, hey, I was just thinking. So I tweaked it. I'll give you those 2 that she mentioned. And then some of you, or most of you, said, I struggle with fence sitters. Like, what do I say to the person? So you've chatted with them. You've gotten to the point where even maybe you shared a cart, right? Who's been there? Me. I've got carts out. Who's got carts out? Nobody ordered. Okay. So I came up with this message that you can send to them to try to see if you can get them to respond to you. So it just says, I'm finding it. Okay. hey, blank, how are you? Did you have a good weekend? I can't believe it's already mid-September. Like you can tweak the beginning, however you want to say it. I know we talked a few months ago about how you are struggling with blank. You would need to go back through your message. Okay, were they telling you that they're struggling with energy? They have menopause problems, like, pooping problems? Like, what is it? You would fill in the blank. I know we talked a few months ago about how you are struggling with blank. Are you still open to seeing if Plexus can help? If so, can you tell me what's holding you back from giving it a try? Is it finances? Do you have questions I haven't answered? Is it just the timing? I would love to know more so I can try and help. And maybe that frees them up to be honest. Maybe you can just say, be honest with me. My goal is to help you. So maybe that will be like, girl, the timing just wasn't right. And then get a conversation going. Or, it really is the finances. Well, it's okay for someone to just order ProBio 5. If that's all they can afford, that product could potentially change their life forever. And don't always just be like, oh, well, if you refer 3 friends, da 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 da, like just be on their level and just say, just love on them well, and just be like, well, look, if finances are an issue, the one product I would recommend that you start with is this. What are your thoughts on at least trying that? And it might not be an order that will help you earn Punta Cana, but I can tell you it's going to show someone that you truly care about them. And it's not just all about the sale. Like I want to get you better. I want to help you. And next month, they might order the triplex, So we've got to get that mindset. So I will share that message with y'all as well. And then, these contests are focused around retention. And so, we all have people who've fallen off the Plexus wagon, right? Whether it was 6 months ago and it doesn't even count towards retention for the contest, or maybe it's people that, haven't ordered in the last month or so, and they would count towards retention for the contest. Here's a message. This one is one Genevieve had kind of put out, and I tweaked it a little bit. It just says, hey, Sally, I happen to notice that you might have fallen off the Plexus wagon, and I totally understand. So many people need several restarts to get this thing under their belt, myself included. I wanted to reach out to see if you're open to giving it another try and getting back on the wagon. We may need to put together a different regimen to find the right fit for your goals. Can you tell me, what is frustrating you the most about your health right now? And see if they will be like, I just can't make it through the day without a nap. Like, see what we can get them telling you. And then, like I said, if all they order is a bag of Slim, that's a win to me. It may not earn you Punta Cana, but what if ProBio 5 changes their life and they tell their friends, and their friends are open to trying the triplex? Like, you never know where that could lead. So, all right.
We have to remember Christina Williams used ProBio 5 for 2 years as a retail customer. That's who we just heard speak. So
yeah,
don't ever forget that. Yep. 2 years.
2 years of ordering ProBio 5 as a retail customer. Mm-hmm. And now look at her. She's a diamond with a re-entry account. So what that means is when you rank diamond, you can re-enroll under yourself and build a whole nother team's diamond. So that's where she is. That's why she says she earned the trip on 2 accounts. It's her diamond account and her re-entry account.
Yeah. I just wanted to say something about her and her husband. I was sitting there on the beach. If you follow Christina Williams, and Brittany Howard, you probably saw all their cute reels and things that they did on the beach. Well, I was sitting there in my chair watching it all go down. It was so cool. And I'm like, I bet I am taking part right now watching a filming. And sure enough, I saw it all come to life on Instagram. But so I brought my son Zach as my guest, and Zach has business intentions, and he is not shy one bit to go up to somebody and ask them. Like, so her husband, Brandon, he's a built guy. And so Zach just walks right up to Brandon. He's like, hey, do you use the products? What do you use? And how do you get other guys to do this? And blah, 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 you know? And, Brandon looked right at him. They talked to us for the longest time. And Brandon said to Zach, he goes, hey, we were trailer trash. He said, we were trailer trash. And if we can do this, anybody can do this. And he's like, I'm not kidding you. He said, we were considered to be trailer trash. We don't have college degrees. We, he was just really like up and up and just open. Like it was very awesome.
I love that. I love watching
Yeah.
Zach. Like he is not afraid to talk to anybody.
Oh no. Oh no.
He is. He's awesome. I loved it. I loved every bit.
Yeah. 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 It was fun.
So you've got to set your intentions. You
Mhm.
can say I'm earning Punta Cana all day long, but what are the actions that you're going to do to get behind that? So, all right. Did you have anything else, Tiffany? I kind of took
you're
over.
fine. No, you're good. Nope,
I
that's
didn't think I
fine.
was going to have a
I-
voice to even try to help. So,
Yeah, no, you're totally fine.
uh,
No,
so we're going to find some lost puppies, y'all. We got to go get these puppies. I loved that Genevieveism. It really makes you understand intention for sure. All right. We're going to pay ourselves first and get brilliant at the basics. All right. Do you want to do prayer request, Tip?
yeah, sure. Does anyone have any prayer requests?
Just keep praying for Megan. Oh, sorry. She had that car accident and now they've totaled her car. So we've got to buy a new car and you can't find, she had a perfectly good used car. And just trying to find one. So it's going to be a struggle getting their insurance to pay me more for her car than what it's worth, but trust me, it's going to happen. I have anything to do with it. So just pray over that situation, please.
You got it.
I have an eye appointment on Monday. Like I have been getting really bad migraines and I really think I would probably be deemed legally blind right now. So I just really am hoping that the treatment they're thinking is all that's going to be needed is all that's needed and it fixes my problem.
And that's tomorrow,
It's next Monday.
next Monday.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay, let's bow our heads and pray. Lord, thank you again for bringing us all together, where we can learn and grow together, and learn from these amazing leaders in our company who are willing to share with us. It truly is one plexus, and those things don't go unnoticed. Prayers for Megan. That she, first of all, her health, that she's good. I know she was having some back and neck issues, so keeping her safe and healthy, and that everything works out as it should to get her a new car, something that's reliable but not stressful to the families. Prayers for Jillian for her upcoming eye appointment, that her migraines are going to go away and that she's going to get the answers that she needs, and the medicine and doctors work like they're supposed to work. And then Lord, just for the unspoken prayers, I know we all have many things in our hearts and our minds, and you know what those are, and you know how to provide and how to take care of those. So we just want to make sure that we are all taken care of, that we we trust you and know that you have the best intentions. And so we just need to put that trust into you as we go forward throughout our week. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much for being on. I will post the recording and then I will put there's 4 messages, the 2 from Christina, and then the one to maybe get someone who's on the fence to start talking with you again, and then someone who's maybe fallen off the wagon. So I'll put those all in our chat. Y'all have a good rest of your night.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.